Yo, what is up, guys? It's Flacco here again, and today's topic we're going to be going over is the fruits of the Spirit, alright? And the reason why I'm going to want you to stay and watch this is because there's a lot of chaos right now going on in the world, and people are confused and lost. They don't know who to trust, they don't know who to learn the word from, or, because there's fake Christians, there's fake this and that, and people are going insane, right? And I'm going to go over this verse where we could talk about who the fruits of the Spirit and how you can know if somebody's walking in the Spirit, how you know if somebody has the Holy Spirit, how you know if somebody is walking with Christ, and not for the enemy, the devil, right? And it's going to be Galatians chapter 5 verse 22 to 23, alright? But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law, alright? And what I think there is no law means is we have the commandments, right? We have all that, and some people get too focused on following the commandments, like the Catholics. I used to be a Catholic, that's why I speak on it. They're too busy trying to do the law, and they're not even doing it right because they fall every single time. And it's told us in the Bible, if you do things by the law, you're gonna die by the law, not by the grace or the salvation that Christ told us to live by the new salvation, by believing he died on the cross. If you're living by the law, you're gonna die by the law. You think you were doing good works by following the commandments, but no, you have to understand this. And listen, all right? You might be like, oh, what is he saying? You might listen to this part, all right? I already read it actually, but look, it means when you are doing things by the fruit of the Spirit, when you are walking with, let me see, what are the words again? When you are walking with love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, and temperance, you automatically respect your neighbors. When you are trying to live like how Christ lived, you automatically respect your neighbors. You automatically want to help those in need. You automatically grow in your love. You start loving like how Christ told you to do things. You're not too focused on trying to do a lot. Not you don't go outside and be like, oh, I gotta treat this person. Nah, because when you are saved through Christ, you know what you're supposed to do. You don't have to keep yourself up. You gotta respect people. You have to. Let's go over the fruits of the Spirit. You gotta love how Christ loved. Turn the cheek, love those who speak on you. You love your enemies, love everybody. All right. And even when bad things happen to your enemies, don't rejoice in it, because like I told you, whatever you are speaking bad on somebody else is gonna return to you, and you don't want that, right? Just let God do his justice, and joy. We have to remain happy, because there's also temperance. If you let your anger get control of you, getting angry at somebody is like, you probably heard this before, it's like murdering almost, because you have that angry intent of wanting to hurt somebody, and you might not think, oh no, I wasn't thinking that, but just Christ sees how anger could drive somebody, how anger could, make somebody want to go do things, and there is peace and long suffering, all right? We get too comfortable thinking when we turn to Christ, we're not gonna suffer, we're like our problems are gonna stop, and we're good, right? You're gonna have storms throughout your whole life, all right? But what he wants you to know is, when you are going through those storms and you are staying faithful, you do receive peace in the end of it, and you get stronger in your faith, and those storms don't scare you as much. And when you are not afraid of death, when you are not letting fear run you, you start moving with faith and peace. You get that peace that Christ told you were going to get. I'm telling you. And I think there's more. Goodness and faith. Oh, I just said that, right? And gentleness. You got to be gentle, and how Christ is. People tell me, you become really sensitive, you become really soft when it comes to certain things. And it's just, I know now that Anger doesn't get you anywhere. Revenge doesn't get you anywhere. Hurting others, hurting your enemies doesn't get you anywhere. You know, all it does is just bring pain upon you, trauma upon you, upon those around you, you know. And we have to think. And when you are trying to find somebody who's speaking the word and you want to know if they are walking with Christ, you could see this in me because I upload videos, you know, and if you want to know if I'm preaching the word right, you have to see that I'm walking in the fruits of the Spirit with faith, you know, with love, just doing these things, right? And overall, just if you see that I'm trying to just do this to help you, you're gonna know, you know. The Holy Spirit will also warn you, like, oh, he's lying, or he's this and that, you know, and you'll know. I'm telling you, you'll get that. People think it's your gut feeling, right? It's the Holy Spirit. It's discernment. It's trying to warn you, right? And yeah, be careful who you're listening the word from, you know. And there's a lot of things going on, and there's a lot of things going on in the world, and we have to remain calm, but also not be ignorant of what's going on around us, you know, because we have to see what's going on, you know, and we have to not be too quick to handle something, right? And sometimes you have to let Christ or God do his justice, right? Because I'm gonna say it again, the evil in this world, it's not gonna end no matter how much we fight, you know, no matter how much we do or try to fix things. We bring pain upon each other by hurting each other, you know, and that's why Christ, he's coming to come for his people and destroy everything, you know. He's gonna come destroy it all because he knows it can't be fixed, you know. That's why he put us here, to spread the word, bring as much people as we can towards him, you know. Bring as much people to the word, plant the seed. If they want to listen to it, then they're saved, you know. The angels are rejoicing in heaven just for one soul. But if you don't, then stay on that side, you know. Just stay over there, you know. Don't come over here trying to confuse Christians or, you know, people who are following Christ. Don't do that, you know. I'm glad people are starting to see that what the higher ups try to do, the devils try to do, because I'm telling you, it's devils that control these people. As devils. We're not fighting against flesh and blood. We're fighting against principalities and demonic things, right? And you can't fight these things if you don't have the armor of God, alright? Like I said, you could be the strongest person in the world, you know, the best fighter in the world. If you are not equipped with the armor of God, if you don't have the sword that could pierce even souls, then you can't do anything, alright? You're yelling, you're shouting is not going to do anything. These people are still doing things behind your back, and you have to understand that. When we are creating chaos outside, these people have time to do things behind the scenes because we're too focused on handling the little things outside, you know, that we think we are doing. We're too focused on the outside and we're not looking on the inside, you know. Like, this is why I say sometimes you have to sit back and just let things play out, because then you see, because then God will reveal who it is. I'm telling you, patience, all right, patience. If you could learn to be patient, you'll get far in life. If you could learn to just let things go and just be like, God is gonna handle it. That's fruit of the Spirit. You're patient. If you know that you don't have a job or this and that, right? But you know it's gonna come, right? By being patient, putting in the work, you know, it's gonna come to you. Let things play out, you know. And we can't be divided, bro. Alright, like, we have to stop saying, oh, this is for us, you know. Nah, we're all one, bro. We all bleed the same. We all bleed the same. Doesn't matter where you're from. We all bleed the same. We're all unified with Christ. Alright? Don't take sides or on, you know, politics and this and that. No. The only side you're supposed to be on is Christ. Alright? And when you're with him, the enemy, it'll be shown clearly. Alright? If you want to see more truth, if you want to see the world more for how it is, read this, because you could scroll on social media all day seeing Bible verses, this and that, but if you're not truly in it yourself, if God sees that you're not trying to put the effort in to learn His Word, to grow closer to Him, then He's not going to give you the clarity. He's not going to open your eyes to see these things, right? Oh my goodness, I was going crazy, but we gotta be attentive to what's going on and not ignorant, alright? Damn, it's a lot, and y'all know the end times are coming, you know? It's said in the Bible there's gonna be rumors of wars, you know, all this and that going on, but we can't be distracted by these things, and we have to stick in His Word. We have to just focus on it, because that's who He's coming for. He's coming for His people, alright? He's coming for His people. The dead, the ones that are died for Him, and the ones who are living. He's coming for us. And the enemy, he's seeing this, right? I'm gonna go into this. The enemy is seeing this. So he sees that there's certain people on this earth that will come against the darkness, right? The kingdom of the devil, right? To expose it, right? In these end times, and Judgment Day is coming. You know, he has certain people doing these things, and he's trying to destroy them, you know, by having not their voices heard, by shutting us out, you know, by having us live in fear. Fear is how the devil controls and runs things. That's how we're controlled. This is why people are stuck in 9 to 5s, because they have that fear of, oh, if I quit this job, I'm not gonna have money over this and that. Not knowing that if they had left that job for something else, they probably could have started a business, you know, done this and that. And that's what moving with faith is, you know. And yeah, after that you put in the work, you know. But you have to start there with faith in Him. And yeah, we have to be careful who we listen to out here, you know, the songs you listen to, because you might think, it's just a song, you know, it's nothing, but the tongue has power. Like what happened in the Garden of Eden. Yeah, the Garden of Eden. How God was telling Adam to name the things, right, with his tongue, showing us that we have power in our tongue. So if you're singing all these secular songs, and I see some, bro, I have, right, family members and this and that, right, that they didn't see the things how I saw, right, and they would call me crazy, or, you know, they would be like, oh my God, he's going on this again, bro, he's Christian, this and that. But now that they're starting to see that their favorite artists are part of the devil's now they're gonna come around and be like, oh, you saw this and that. And if you be like, oh, I told you, they're gonna be like, no, you didn't. Same people, bro. But the important thing is you warn them, you know. You warn these people the things that are to come, you know. And you gotta do it in a way where you're being careful, you know. You gotta do it in a way where it's in God's time, because as much as you might want to go help somebody out, Christ might tell you to wait a little longer, you know. His timing is perfect. How He does things is perfect, you know. And yeah, just keep exposing things, the evil, and yeah, stay in your word though. First off, right? Because if you're too focused on the chaos, you're gonna get driven crazy. I'm trying to tell you, you're gonna go crazy yourself if you're too focused on what's going on in the world. You know, it's good to be focused on it, but focus on your word first, because if you're in this, you don't have to be looking on your phone the whole time to see what's going on. No, you automatically know what's gonna happen. You automatically know what's going on if you just be this. Alright, stay faithful, stay in your word, and be an example of it. No, preach it. Alright, that was 4, but y'all know what I mean. Alright, stay blessed.